Hey, what's going on, y'all? It's your girl Lakierra coming to you guys with What We Ignore. Today, I have a special guest, Austin Hughes. Go ahead and introduce yourself.
How you doing? My name is Austin Hughes. Uh, I am currently here just to be on the show. I'm glad to be on the show.
Alrighty, so Austin is currently a senior at Western, and so what I wanted to interview him on is during this time, we're in the middle of a pandemic. I'm sure it's hectic, and so I want to know just first off, what was your reaction when you found out that you had to go back to school in person?
Well, uh, I really thought, it was definitely a struggle to get back into um, human interaction because I didn't really focus, didn't really have that much this summer because of this whole pandemic. I was a little bit worried because of the increase in cases and also just being closer to people. um, my roommates moved out during the summer, and then I got new roommates, and that's been like I've been like a little bit on edge about that. But you just have to live with it, and you just got to make sure that all communication lines are open when it comes to coming in contact with somebody. Maybe you went somewhere and they didn't have a mask, or you just gotta keep all types of good communication open for that. So
Okay.
yeah.
And then, just because you said, you had new roommates, move in and stuff. So I know that has been really hectic. So have they been taking the proper precaution on their end? Just, since you're not in a dorm, you're in an apartment. But however, like you said, it's three new roommates. So how have they been going about that?
So they've been it's been pretty open. I just been trying to keep them, trying to keep 'em on a transparent schedule. Just letting them know, hey, if you leave, make sure you wear a mask at all times. We're trying to keep each other in line and make sure that no type of like cases or anything comes up. If we're worried about each other, yeah, that makes sense because we're all in close quarters. We're using the same things in the same house. So we're working strategically around that and also trying to keep each other healthy.
Okay, that's really good to hear. So, another thing that I do want to know is, you're the president of your organization, Little Men of Worth. And
Mm.
so, what I want to know is, how are they going about planning things for the year for you guys?
Yes. So, like you said, thank you for bringing that up. Yes, I am the president of an organization called Building Men of Worth, or BMW for short, on Western's campus. As the president, we are definitely implementing the 6 foot rule. We're working on figuring out how our meeting schedule is going to work and just trying to figure out things to stay in line with the CDC guidelines, but also keep a, you know, family oriented, brotherhood type of mentality that we've always kept, keeping our hopes up high. You know, if that means we got to send messages to each other, just letting each other know that we still care about you, we would do that. We're just looking for basically trying to keep everything close, but also to a safe distance to where we know that we can still reach out to each other.
Okay. And so, are you guys holding events in person? How are you guys going about that?
So right now we do not have a implemented like schedule.
Mm-hmm.
We're actually still working on that, but I did speak to my e-board. We actually are working on our first event. It should be next week, sometime around, I think it's Wednesday to be sure. And we're getting a like a large room because we don't know the turnout. We just, we're just looking for something to hold like our first event because we have not um, fully figured out where we like want to go when it comes to meetings.
Okay. That's understandable, especially with, everything that's going on. So I do hope you guys come to, some stance where you guys can figure it out. Because I have been seeing, people doing like Zoomings for events. And it's not just you guys, it's people that have organizations just in general, like they've been having, um, different things set in place. No, that didn't just come on. I gotta cut that out. um, Another thing that I do want to know is how is it set up right now currently with everything that's going on with the food area? Like, how is that? Like, I'm sure that's pretty hectic right now.
So if we're talking food, DSU is what people normally think of when they come on the campus. They don't really hear about Garrett uh, Conference Food Court. That's at the top of the hill. At the top, we'll start. Since we are the hilltoppers, we'll start from the top. Um, we'll go from Garrett to DSU to the bottom of the hill.
Mm-hmm.
Starting at Garrett, basically they are implementing they have stickers on the floor where you can strategically stand. Inside of the actual restaurant, there's like 4 restaurants. They have a specific in and out, so it's like one-way traffic. They make sure that if you need something that you can grab it, but you have to make sure that you don't put it back or anything like that. Like if you because that only causes more contamination, and that will hurt other people. So you just it's really cool how they have it set up. I know for that. And then Panda, I went the other day, and normally there's a long line. So now they implement it to where there's only 3 people on the line where the checkout is, and then like the fourth person basically has to wait, and it's one-way traffic in, one-way traffic out. So that's really I really do like the way that they plan that out.
Mm-hmm.
DSU, they took out they took out the cafeteria seating. Let's see, fresh people. A lot of people were very worried about fresh and like how they're gonna keep how they're gonna keep the buffet lines and everything, like how they're gonna keep that implemented. Um, it was weird, but then again, it made sense.
Mm-hmm.
Everything was in a styrofoam box because I did get takeout. I'm not sure how sitting down would be, but it did look like they did take a couple of seats in like um, the bigger tables out because
Oh.
people would meet together, and like it would form like a bigger crowd. And they used to have the tables used to be like really close together. Now they're like at least 6 foot 6 feet apart, so it's only 4 people at a table.
Mm-hmm.
um so yeah, getting my food from fresh, just understanding that they always give you a new styrofoam box when you need something. That's really good. So you can't try to give them the box and ask if you want more. Like, no, you have to tell them before they actually give it to you. Moving down the hill, um, or actually, yeah. So like Chick-fil-A, Steak and Shake, and then Papa John's. There's no seating in there. You can only get in line and get your food and go out. That's the only way that they can work that. They took out all the seating for that. The bottom of the hill. Um, I have actually not been to. I think it's called the Den. I have not been there yet this semester. I'm sure that they're doing a great job at everything that they have to do when it comes to food as well, because WKU has definitely worked a strategic plan around the CDC and like how to keep the cases down.
Okay. And then my other question is, so, I want to know how are the classes set up now, and not just the classes, the areas that people use for resources to do their homework.
So, from my experience, the classes that I'm taking are currently hybrid. Um, Now, that is a pretty strenuous situation because of me trying to keep up with 1 day a week or 2 days a week. And since they're all like closed classes that have to do with my major, I sometimes get a little bit frazzled by an assignment because it's online. I feel like, at first, since I had to take summer courses, I felt like I was being piled on with homework from the professor.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like they were trying to keep me more engaged, but also more attached to my work. I know that the summertime, they say that you don't have as long for the semesters as the blocks go. But this semester, so far, it has been a hybrid for me. So I only have like one class a week or two classes a week, um, or for the schedule for that class. Um, when it comes to the classrooms, there's only a limited number of people that can be in a classroom depending on the size.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and then we have scheduled days that we can actually come. So, like, say if I have a, a Monday, if I had a Monday, Wednesday, Friday class, now I only have like maybe just the Monday class. And then my Wednesday class will be online. And then it would basically just repeat itself again. So that's how my hybrid classes work. I think that's weird, but I mean, you have to do what you have to do in order to keep the number of cases down. Um, Also, they have worked on the seating. The seating is definitely the biggest thing of classrooms, of course. The layout they actually have it marked out like you can't sit here, the next person sits here, you can't sit here, and the next person sits here. So I I definitely have appreciated them going above and beyond what I expected as a college campus.
Okay. So I want to know also, have you used any of the resources like, mass media or any of the computer labs, or even went to the writing center at the top of the hill, since I went to Western?
Yeah. So yes, I have gone to mass media. I like the way that they laid out things once again. It used to be, and I know you can also speak from experience.
Mm-hmm.
Um, it used to be when you go in there, you would just walk straight through, and the keyboard and the mouse would already be on the actual, like a normal setup, like a normal computer setup. It would be there. Now you have to stop before you get through the actual gate. They hand you a keyboard and mouse setup. So they're keeping the contamination down by doing that too. So it's like you get that and then you go sit down at whatever seat there is. But once again, that's where they get you because they have strategically put places where you cannot sit. So you can't sit next to your friend. You have to sit one computer space away. So
Mm.
you can't just sit like right next to them. You have to sit on the other side of them or maybe one seat over. So I definitely think that has definitely helped a lot more. They used to be 24 hours. Now they actually close at 9 o'clock. So I definitely think that they take the time to sanitize and make sure everything is back to normal and make sure that they keep the contamination down.
That's really good, if they're doing that. But I know that's probably hard for people to adjust, especially people that don't have, computers. I'm sure now with COVID going on, everybody probably went out and purchased them a laptop. I think that would be the valuable thing to do
Right.
with COVID, and you don't want to be touching keyboards. However, I know that that's a center to go and print items off from. Um, and another thing that I do want to know is just how is your mental state with everything that's going on currently, and trying to do your work? Like, how is that, falling into place? Because I'm sure, is it more work? Is it harder for you with school, doing it online and being hybrid?
Yes, uh, it has definitely been a learning curve. I like we said earlier, and like I said earlier, it has definitely been a big part of learning. Coming from coming going to class, 8 a.m. Like I used to always take early classes, so I
Mm-hmm.
used to just want to get the classes out of the way. Now it's like I have to wait for a Zoom meeting, and sometimes I don't feel as engaged as in like an actual in class meeting. So kind of like retention and then focus of actually being in the class is a little bit harder than what it used to be. So
Mm-hmm.
I definitely feel a little bit more under pressure and stressed at times, but you just have to, keep working through it and just making sure that you stay strong mentally. Um, it might be struggling times, but in the end, at least you tried. You tried to learn. That's what it's all about. You getting further into your career or major or minor, because my major is in human resources, and what I have seen and what I have heard is that it's gone into the online track, of course, but it's just one of those majors where I can go anywhere, but I want to make sure that I have the best education for my future.
Mm-hmm.
So I definitely like to use my major to my advantage. And even if I had to talk to other people and help them, that's the reason why I became a president of my organization, because I also feel like I can make a connection to my organization not meters, but members themselves. So yeah. Hmm.
Okay, that's really good. What another thing that I really want to know is there like any concerns that you have with you guys being hybrid? Like, what is something that is like your main concern? Like, maybe it might be people slacking more, or the ratings coming up in Kentucky and then it coming to the school. Just anything that you feel that you're concerned about.
Biggest concern for me and for most people is definitely people hiding that they have COVID, not telling the truth, coming to class and just not wearing a mask, not following protocols and everything. Um, our doing what he can. And when I say president, I'm talking about, both presidents, but more specifically, you know, the
Yeah.
president on campus. It's just one of those type of mental things that we never thought would come to this type of conclusion, that we have to do this, we have to follow this, we have to be 6 feet behind somebody, like 6 feet away, always wear masks. Some people forget masks, I understand, but you just gotta keep, you know you just gotta keep by the guidelines, you gotta stay by the rules. That's the only way we're gonna lower the curve.
Okay. That's really good, information. I think everybody needs to take initiative of that. I hope nobody, comes to school that is sick or feeling any type of way and then exposes it to any of you guys. Any additional comments or just anything in general that you have to say, love?
Wear a mask,
Yes.
please. Wear a mask. I don't care how bad it is. I need you to do your part and wear a mask.
Me too. Y'all can go order y'all a What We Ignore mask and it can say this. Let me stand up. We won't ignore Black queens, won't ignore Black kings. All that information. You can just go to our website and purchase an item.